What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Pit Life Barbecue Podcast, coming to you live from the Uncle Steve Shake Studios in Center Bonstead, New Hampshire. It is Monday night, so you know what that means. You can't start the barbecue week off unless you start on Monday. So let's go. Actually, give me 1 second here because wonderful Facebook is still playing games with me. So I need to copy that link. Go to Facebook, go to the podcast page. Riveting stuff here, Ercole. Riveting.
I see it. Hey, listen, you'd have had me lost already. I'd have had to pick up the phone and call somebody. Time to phone a friend. You might even see it somewhere during this podcast. I have to call my daughter. See, the earphones ain't working. What do I got to do?
Oh, I do it all the time with my kids. Hey, how the hell do you turn this stupid thing on?
Oh yeah, they're good at that.
Oh yeah.
Me not.
And,
Me not too much.
Oh, for sure. All right, shared there. We're good. For some reason, Facebook has shut down sharing live streams to through a third-party platform. So
Okay.
I got to figure out how the hell that works now. But yeah, here we are. Monday night barbecue starts on Monday, the week of the Jack. It has been an absolute blast talking with all the local guys who I compete with and against and all that good stuff that are representing the Northeast down at the Jack Daniels this week. And we're going to get into it. But tonight's episode brought to you by Uncle Steve Shake. What can I say, guys? Uncle Steve he's a saint when it comes right down to it. Great guy. Incredible products, uses the freshest ingredients, now up to 17 flavors in the line with the new Mi Amigo jalapeno rub, the sauce with no name. He's got it all covered. Great customer service. You have a question, call. Steve answers. Email, Steve answers. He'll even call you if he has a question on your order or needs to do something with it. He'll take care of it. He'll sit there and talk with you, working out your flavor profiles for which shakes, would work best for what you cook on a regular. Check him out at UncleSteveShake.com. And also on Facebook at Uncle Steve Shake Nation for everything up to date on all things shake. And remember, Uncle Steve Shake, shake some on everything. Also brought to you by Joe's Meat Market, the diamond of Royce City, Texas. What can I say? Gabriel and his crew do an amazing job. You looking for a particular cut of meat? Gabriel's got you covered. If he does not have it, he'll get it for you. You need a specific thickness cut? Gabriel got you covered. Take care of that for you, whatever you need. Fresh produce brought in daily. All your competition to Weekend Warrior needs, got you covered there. Rubs, sauces, smoky wood products just started carrying within the past month or two. And while you're there, you're feeling a little hungry, got you covered too. Gabriel's mom is behind the counter making some of the freshest Mexican cuisine out there. So order up a little something, get a bite, sit down with the boys, talk the business, talk competition, anything. Just sit down, relax a little bit, let the worries of the world roll off your shoulders for a little while. But like I said, Royce City, Texas, if you're in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, go check them out. See Gabriel and the crew. And remember, tell them Mag sent you. And remember, Joe's Meat Market for the win. All right, let's see who is here. I know Bat's here, Tom's here. Oh, there he is, Daddy Dutch. What's happening, brother? Lewis, Trumpet Master, what's happening? Really want to watch Monday football, but Mags is a little less annoying than Joe Buck and Troy. Thank you, Dutch. I appreciate that. I feel the love, brother. And there's Mrs. Mags. Chris Rosinski, what's happening? Big Rome, what's going on? TBC in the house. NBL, what's happening? All right, guys, let's get rolling. Like I said, it has been so much fun these past, 5, 6 weeks, catching up with all the teams from New England Northeast area, heading down to represent down at the Jack Daniels Invitational this weekend, and had to save the best for last. And he is, he's a hell of a cooker. That's for goddamn sure. Grands, reserves, consistency, always at the top of the list, week in, week out. 2003 Jack Daniels Grand Champion. You know, that little thing they're having down there this weekend. But more importantly, world champion. Ladies and gentlemen, from Uncle Pig's Barbecue Pit, please welcome Ercole Chilla. Ercole, what's up, brother?
I'm having a little call my daughter.
Oh, it's just slowed down a little bit there. Okay.
It's very low. I can't hear it.
Oh, we can hang on a second.
We're good. I mean,
all right. We good?
I can hear, but I can hear it. Go ahead.
She'll be in? Okay.
Told you she's got to come do this. Dude, you said my name. Out it went.
See, we jinxed ourselves, Ercole. We were good to go.
Yeah, most certainly. But I.
Oh, now you're muted. Yeah, no, that's on. I can't undo it on my end. On the bottom there, on the mic, is it the mic with a line through it? There you go.
I'm unmuted. It's just I don't hear nothing.
You don't hear you.
So I kept my phone around because I knew I was going to need
it. Because you're clear as a bell right now.
Here we go. I hear something.
You got me?
I got you, but you're real low.
Real low.
Yeah, I mean, I can hear you.
Okay. Because I don't know if there's a way I can add.
I mean, everything looks like it's working.
Yeah, you're clear. You sound clear as a bell now.
Here she comes.
So,
here comes our
all right.
It's really low.
Ready? Go up to here. And you're connected here. There you go.
How'd that do that?
Well, my iPad. I turned my.
All right, say some, Johnny.
Upstairs.
It's
how's it sound now? Got it good.
We're good now.
All right, brother.
We have been corrected.
All right, back on track. Oh, so Ercole, man, thank you so much for taking time to join me. I do actually owe you an apology. We did a quick little hit down in Houston,
Yeah, I remember. Mm-hmm.
and after the fact, I'm looking at the phone, and it still says press to go live. I double clicked it with my sausage fingers, so we were live and instantly not live in a blink of an eye. So it was just me and you on that one, brother. And I
It's all good.
apologize.
It's all good.
So for any of the there's Uncle Steve. What's up, brother? Uh, for anybody here who might not know you, obviously I know you from competing up this way and all that. Um, tell them a little bit about yourselves, how you got in, how long you've been competing, what led to the competing, and all that good stuff.
Well, it's kind of, I guess, 2010-ish. It basically happened with me and my brothers having a little competition of our own in our backyard. It was, they thought boiling ribs was the answer. I said, no, you got to smoke these things. So one thing led to another, and I end up smoking the ribs on us. I bought a smoker, a little electric smoker. They had boiled them, and we had a family competition, and we ended up winning. So, and one of my cousins was over, and he was a judge and for KCBS, and he had a restaurant, and he's like, you ought to compete with them ribs. I'm like, you could compete with barbecue? He said, yeah. I'm like, well, shit, where? And that's when I started. And I started looking online and trying to find barbecue competitions. And we went to our first one and got manhandled. And that started it, the fever back in 2010. Haven't got cured yet.
No, and I don't think there is. I don't think there is a cure. So
That's
that's always good. We got a lot of guys to start that same way. Between just messing around in the backyard with friends and family, or a lot of us got hooked on the TV show, going, what the hell is this? Barbecue Pitmasters,
Yeah.
with the
I was
with the famous
into it before that.
Yeah, with the famous last words going, I bet I can do that.
I can beat that guy.
I can do that. Oh no, I cook better than that. Oh, I'll show them. Yeah.
So the biggest problem I had was after our first competition, I had a couple people helping me, and they're like saying, "This is what you got to do. This is what you got to do." And after we came in 47th place out of like 60 teams. I'm like, I told my wife, I said, I got to find another competition. I feel like I didn't do my own thing. So then a couple of weeks later, we found one in Mount Holly. We ended up having second place chicken, fifth place brisket. I'm like, oh, see, I told you this shit is easy. And then the third week we went to Delaware, and then we almost came in last place again. So once you win a trophy, and like one of the trophies was like in Mount Holly back, and they were huge. And I'm like, I'm hooked. Oh, whoop, hook me up, hook, line, and sinker.
Nice. Now I know we were touching just a little earlier on the name. How did Uncle Pig's Barbecue Pit become your name?
Well, I had a couple brothers. Unfortunately, both passed, or three of them passed.
My condolences.
Thank you. One they would always call each other names. They would, toy names. So my brother Alex, his name was Uncle Pig. So me and my wife at the time, or girlfriend at the time, we went out somewhere, and we came back, and he's in the backyard, and he's, he was boiling his ribs and he was cooking them. And so I walked into the backyard. I'm like, hey, look, it's Uncle Pig's. And that was years before we had a team. So as we did our first contest, they said you needed to have a team name. I'm like, well, we're going to go with Uncle Pig's then. And that's where it came from. And it's been going strong since.
It's been strong ever since. Yeah, awesome. So you started back in 2010, and now you're in the New Jersey area, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now you did a bunch, started looking there. When did you start, or maybe even feel comfortable in your cooking program to really start venturing out, traveling wise?
Well, I guess it all started with 2 3 hours, maybe 2 hours radius, and it was never, I didn't think I could compete with anybody because I knew I couldn't. I just had to do a lot of learning. Uh, I said just 2 hours, 2 hours. Then after you get a couple calls, when you want to do it again, you start getting that itch. You're like, well, maybe we'll go 3 hours, 3 hours. And my wife's like, you're going a little further than you're supposed to be going. I'm like, well, yeah, just 4 hours, 4 hours. Next thing I know, it's 12 hours, 15 hours. We're riding all over the place. So yeah,
Yeah.
it never was a confidence thing. It was just, I don't want to drive that far. I don't want to drive that far. And that lasted for maybe, I don't know, maybe a year. And I'm like, yeah, we're just going to roll. We're going to go.
Yeah.
We're going to hook it up and go.
Yeah. Now you've actually taken that to a whole different level also. And if I'm trying to remember who told me, but it was a couple. I know it happened a couple weeks ago.
Mhm.
You were maybe cooking in the New Jersey area, and
Yeah,
then
we were in North Carolina.
North Carolina, and then shot up this way
To
to
Massachusetts.
make a double weekend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's like 15 hours.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but you
15 hours,
literally finish cooking. The pits aren't even cold,
No,
and
we dumped the stuff
you're
out
on
and
the
rolled.
road,
We
heading
got on the road at
north.
2.
Wow,
We got there around 5:30 in the morning.
ready to go again.
We were lucky enough to GC that one too. That was pretty awesome.
Yeah, exactly. That's
That's
the
a real
wild.
roll double.
You ain't kidding, for sure. But yeah, that's ooh, gee, I don't know if I could. I'd like to try like hell to see if I could pull it off, but
I know. I'll go with you. I'm good at it now. I did it 3 years, like 3 years so far.
you got it down pat. Nice. So 2010 started it. When did you like really feel comfortable? Because like when I started out, my first competition, a little quiet and off to myself, shyness, and just really trying to focus, not get distracted, and talk myself into or out of anything. um and still learning as I go to this day. But each one I feel like I get a little bit more confident in my cook and my practice cooks here at the house, trying this recipe, trying that recipe, seeing how everything works. About how long did it take you to really, I guess, feel good in your own skin as far as your cooking program and your the fuck's the word I'm looking for? Basically, your faith in yourself, in your cooking.
Okay. Well, I mean, so in 2015, we won our first grand championship. That was Wildwood. That was the one our first competition there. We went to. We got killed a couple of times after that. We started getting a call here and there. So after 2015, I was feeling like I'm like, all right, we're good now. We can compete. At least we can compete. In 2016, we might have had one top 10 call. It was that bad. I mean, so I had confidence, and in 2016, it wasn't there no more. Then 2017 came along, and things started getting better again. And knock on wood, ever since then, it's been kind of a, little hills and valleys, but thank God it's always been decent.
Nice.
Yeah, so I say 2015 it was confident. I mean, when I first started, it was like, all right, we got to get this hardest meat first. We got to work on brisket. And that was the first thing I did. My first calls were brisket, and I just stayed with that because the other things I figured I can get to, but the brisket was that was really hard. So we did well with that right off the bat. That was probably something we had the most calls in up to date. I think now pork maybe has surpassed that, maybe chicken, but it was brisket for a long time.
Yeah. Yeah, it's yeah, I agree. Brisket is definitely the toughest meat. So tackle that one first.
Learn how to
You
do
know.
that. At least you think you learn how to do it, and then when you get confident, they knock you right down a couple pegs, and you start over again.
Oh, I mean, dude, that's me to a T. I can roll out here and I can cook a beautiful brisket, wonderful, juicy. Some of the boys in here love the word moist, so I'll throw that out. Tender.
Mhm. Right.
It's just on that cooking it for that Sunday turn in.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, I forget how to cook brisket.
When you don't care, things work out the best. When
Oh,
you don't care, like, I'll catch it later. It turns
yeah,
out really good.
yeah,
When you watch
for
it like a
sure.
hawk, it turns out to be a mess.
Yeah.
I've learned
Oh,
that too.
Oh yeah, I've turned a couple briskets in that I wouldn't let the dogs chew on. We'll put it that we'll put it
I
that
got you.
way.
We've been down
Yeah,
that road before too.
absolutely. Now, did you take any classes or did you
Yeah, I
just
took a
really?
couple.
Oh, okay.
So my very first one was Q Stewing and Brewing from Scott Smith in Georgia. I bought my first trailer off of him, and he's like, "Well, why don't you just come on down and run a class with us?" I'm like, "Okay." So I mean, that's a lot that I learned from there. I take that one. I took Tuffy Stones. I took Luke Darnell's,
Hmm.
and I took Mark Gibbs's. There and I'm forgetting Brad and Tim's class also.
Yeah. All right. So
I took a
you
couple during the course of this thing. I mean, when I first started, there was no courses, there was no help, there was no nothing.
Oh
In
yeah.
2010, nobody wanted to give you anything. They're like, "You on your own, buddy. You figure it out. Go ruin some briskets and talk to you later." It
Yeah.
was tough. It was
Yeah. So
tough.
that was what I was getting at. Did you have the ability to take a couple classes, or was it really just taking your own info from week in, week out, and really dissecting how everything was and
Yeah, so I didn't
really
take a class.
self-taught it?
I didn't think I took a class till like 2016. I did like 5 years on my own. There really wasn't many classes out 2010, 11, 12. And if they were, it was unaffordable for me at the time.
Mhm.
So I just, some hard knock stuff for the first 4 or 5 years. I think the lumps are
Yeah.
just going down.
Oh, yeah. So you at that point, so now we're at like 2015, you're really rolling, you're really feeling it. Um then everything comes. Now, was was last year your first time at the Jack Daniels?
No, I went 2015. We finished fourth that year.
Oh, okay.
This year will be my fifth time.
Oh, okay. I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, we finished fourth, then we finished, I think, 15th. And then we had a bad one, like I don't know, where 30th or something. Then
Mhm.
fortunately we won last year, and then whatever this year holds for us.
Okay. I didn't realize that. Okay,
Yeah,
so
I mean,
you're a Jack Daniels seasoned veteran.
yeah, I guess you could say that. I mean, we were close to winning that the first time we went. We were fourth, and we had a very bad chicken day. It was like 67th in chicken or something.
Yeah.
If we had maybe a 20th in chicken, could have won that contest. But I mean, we got two calls, and you'd have thought I won the lottery for $1 million.
Oh, absolutely.
I was so excited, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely. To get your name called at the holler. That's
that was really cool.
yeah.
That was cool.
That's really cool. All right. So you get in there, you've been down a few times, so you know what to expect.
Mm-hmm.
With last year, especially GC in the event, and we'll get to that day. But for all the guys who are going down, I saw Tim Rogers in the chat on the YouTube side, but I know he's going down. For all the guys from the area that are going down for the very first time. Anything, words of wisdom, what to expect, or once they get there, setup wise, or how everybody works on like load-in day.
Well, I don't think I could say as far as the cooking goes. You're gonna you have to. It's hard to, but you have to treat it like a regular cook. I mean, the times are a little different, but if you start getting into your head a little bit, you'll mess up. You'll overthink it. I mean, we've done it a couple times, going too heavy on thought.
Mhm.
And then when you set up and when you really probably, I don't know about as much as nowadays, but when we first 2 or 3 times you needed a blocker to get your food turned in because there were so many people. Last year it didn't look so bad, but we were in a different spot too. So to see where they left, it was kind of a clear shot. But the couple years we were before then, we had to have a blocker to get people through because it was a lot of people. And do you just enjoy it because it's not an easy thing to get there again. It's suck it all in, man. But when it's time to cook, let all that other stuff go.
Yeah.
Let all that other stuff go. And just treat it like a cook.
Yeah. I do. I agree that's the, like the Royal. You can sign up and go cook the Royal.
Mhm.
Anybody can.
Mhm.
Obviously the invitational side, you need to GC a KCBS sanctioned event throughout
Mhm.
the particular year time frame.
Right.
And that is, 600 plus teams. But the Jack Daniels, it's so intimate, I think is the best
Yes.
way to put it. And it's true. You don't know when you're going to get a chance to go back.
I
Because you
mean,
can sit right now, I'm going to the Royal this. You can say I'm going to the Royal this year, and yeah, we'll be back for next year and the year after in
yeah.
the foreseeable future.
I mean, you
You
don't even have
can't
to win a
say that.
GC, right? No,
Yeah.
you can't. So I mean, in 2022, we for a year we had 9 grand championships and 4 reserves, but during a calendar year it was 6 grand championships. So we needed one more to get auto. If
Hmm.
we didn't go back, if we didn't go to Massachusetts that year and win one in Massachusetts, that's where we got put in. Or we might not even made it to the Jack in 2022 when we won. I mean,
Yeah.
after all them wins, team of the year, that doesn't mean nothing. I mean, it doesn't mean nothing.
Yeah.
If you don't reach the criteria, you're going to sit home and watch just like we did plenty of times.
For sure. For sure. So that's it. So the basic is just stay in your lane,
Stay in
do
your lane.
what you did to get there,
That's right. That's right.
and fight yourself. Don't be
Don't,
your
yes.
own worst enemy.
No, don't be your own worst enemy. Don't overthink it. And it's hard to do because it gets overwhelming. It does. It's overwhelming
Yeah.
still for me. I mean, I haven't slept well in the last couple of days just thinking about the things I want to do.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to have fun with it too. I mean, we're going down. Unfortunately, my wife and kids aren't going to make it this year. I have some school stuff and homecoming
Yeah.
and stuff. So we're going down with a bunch of guy friends we have, and it's going to be weird because usually she runs the boxes. So
Yeah.
and if you have a superstition, oof. It's going to be tough. I'm hoping we can overcome that one.
Oh, for sure. For sure. But all right, let's get into last year's Jack. H- First off, how did you get in qualification wise for last year?
That was the Massachusetts one.
That's the
We had
Massachusetts. Okay.
we had six GCs. And we pulled our bung from Massachusetts.
Okay. Okay. So you got the bung
I mean,
draw
we
from
might have had
that.
other opportunities to get in, like through New Jersey and stuff, but that was the one that got us in, the bung from Massachusetts.
Okay. So you get down there, you set up. You've obviously been there before.
Mm-hmm.
So the tensions and the butterflies might be slightly lower level, but they're still there.
They're still there.
Take us through that day. You cook. obviously we all know the end result, but let's get the story of up to that. How did your cook start? Were you happy with the proteins you had to cook with?
Yes.
And all in.
So my thought was, as we turned in our food or cooked our food, I'm like, well, if we don't get calls, it's not because of the food, because everything we brought was top notch, from all the chicken and the ribs and the pork and the brisket, everything was great looking. Um, so I was really concentrating on chicken because we have never gotten a chicken call there yet. I'm like, got to get a chicken call, got to get a chicken call. So which I thought was our best protein was our worst protein again. And we're sitting there, and I'm during the awards, and we didn't get a call, and it was depressing because I thought it was very good. And I'm like, shit. And my wife's like, well, how was your ribs? I'm like, they were good, but I don't know if they were top 5. You know what I mean? There's a lot of great teams here. To be top 5 is going to be crazy. So they get to 5, and then they get to 4, and they get to 3. And I'm starting to get a little bit more like, fudge, here comes another fucked up year. I mean, shit.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sitting there, and they call one, they call us. I'm like, I mean, I was going like a flash. And I look back, I'm like, where's everybody at? I was so excited. I didn't even know we had a 180. When we got out to after we got our barrel head, we went out to round back, they gave me a 180 pin in the thing. I'm like, we had a 180? He goes, yeah, you had a 180. I'm like, oh shit. All right.
All right.
I sat back. Yeah, I was pretty excited, and I sat back down, and I knew the pork was good also. To myself, I'm like, that was really good pork. So she's like, what about the pork? I'm like, it was really good. I said, we should get that should be top 3. And we ended up finishing second. Once again, I left them all. I didn't know where they were at. I'm like, where are you guys walking so slow for? Come on. So we get up there, and we get the award. We come back down, and now, now it's the nerves are a mess. You're thinking to yourself, is this shit really going to happen right now? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
where did chicken finish? Where did chicken finish? Where did chicken finish? I told her we have to get a call on brisket to have a chance, because there was a lot of people had a lot of calls. 2 calls.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe not as high as are, but there was plenty of calls. I'm like, we have to get a call on brisket, and I think we got an 8th place brisket. I'm like, okay, now we're in the hunt. I don't know where we're at, but we're in the hunt. Then everybody starts getting a little closer to you, a little. I'm like, get away, don't sit so close. Back up. Keep the demons away. I'm ready to put some salt around everything. And so when we got towards the end, I mean, he was just talking, and it felt like he was talking like really slow. I'm like, hurry up, come on, say it. And we end up winning, and it was overwhelming. It was overwhelming.
Yeah.
Heath Riles was right there, and he was videotaping us and all, and he congratulated us and stuff. Every time we went back, he was, one more, you're going to get it, one more. I'm like, oh, God, stop talking, please.
Oh, yeah.
Don't scare it away.
Oh.
But yeah, and it was like, our day started off as a normal day. We did everything we were supposed to do. I have a punch list that I do, a laminated sheet. It's how we operate the whole day. And I have one made specifically for the Jack, and I will have one for our regular competitions, especially with the timeline difference. You don't want to, look at the clock, say, oh shit, I forgot to do that. So I get kind of goofy with that stuff. So everything's down to the minute, what we did. And thank God, knock on wood, it worked out. Very exciting.
Oh, that's awesome. Right. You got the chicken call, the pork call, and you were at the front of the line. Where the hell is everybody?
Yeah.
Did it take a little bit when, and this year's grand champion, Jack Daniels, Uncle Pigs, did it take a minute for it to register? Or, at that point, did your legs not kind of work with your brain, and you wanted to go but really couldn't at that time?
No, I noticed the second that happened, I got bombarded with my friends. I mean, my friends, my wife, everybody was, they corralled me. I mean, and I didn't really get a chance to do any kind of solo celebrations in my head. I was just, Everybody was hugging me, high fiving me, and you know, they were screaming their little chants of cream puffs, cream puffs. We had a cream puff situation. I'm sure you know about it, but so it was pretty interesting. It was fun. It was, and it was pretty cool.
Oh yeah, that's got to be. I can't even imagine what it would be like.
I mean,
You
as
know,
it was happening, I'm sitting there thinking to myself, like I said earlier, I'm like, is this really happening right now? Is this really happening right now? You know, I mean, you think, you know, you're good enough to do these things. But you know, with anything else, like anything else, especially in barbecue, you do need a sprinkling of luck. I mean, you know,
Mhm.
get on the wrong table, you know, we go from winner to third place or fourth place, or maybe not even getting top 10. It's just, you got to turn in good food and pray to get a good table that likes what you're turning in. And that
Yeah.
happened. That happened that particular time. I mean, it's happened to us. Lucky now for a couple years, it happens. And sometimes, like this last past weekend, you know, we thought we had something good going on, and we get a 16th place brisket, and it was probably one of the best briskets we cooked in a while. What are you going to do? I mean, you know, one table of death, and you happen to follow one of this.
Oh,
Goodbye,
absolutely.
Charlie.
Absolutely. So now you've been crowned world champion, Jack Daniels grand champion, and with that, you had the opportunity to go and cook the Houston Livestock and Rodeo Show.
Yep.
Was that the first time cooking that event?
Hmm.
And have you been there before? Not necessarily cooking, but just, as a
Yeah.
spectator.
First time ever being there. I mean, it was a sight. I mean, I had never seen a parking lot turn into a town. It was crazy, man. There was parties everywhere. I mean, saloons set up overnight. It's nuts. It was
Oh,
very, very interesting to watch. It's very cool.
it is a wild time. Um, I've gone the past 2 years. I couldn't make the two before. Uncle Steve brings us, has us down, and we have a make a time out of the weekend because he's been a sponsor for the Lonesome Dove cooking team for like 30 years now.
Oh, wow.
And listening to him tell it, it's like he goes, I can't explain it. It's this. And 2 years ago, when I went down to Austin to pick up my pit, we stayed a couple days in Houston with Uncle Steve, and it was the weekend of the Fort Bend County Cook-Off down there. And so we shot over there on that Friday night, and I was looking around. It's like, holy shit! I go, this is like a small town,
Yeah.
And he goes, let me tell you something. He goes, you think this is big? He goes, at Houston, this cook-off is technically one street. I go, what? He goes, it's one street. They're all broken down into different
Yeah.
streets,
Yeah.
Chuck Wagon Way and
Yeah.
Brisket Boulevard. And he goes, this is just one street. He goes, there's 250 tents, and each one of them is a private party, and each one of them has turn-ins. And we're like, holy shit. So when I first got there 2 years ago, we pull up, and obviously you pull up to the football stadium where the Texans play.
Right. Mhm.
It's like, okay, I get it. Then you get closer. It's like, oh my God. That first year, I don't think I got to every section. I found
Yeah,
two
can't.
sections this year that I didn't even know existed last year. It's like,
Yeah.
holy cow.
I mean, it's got to be big to have 250 some teams there. I mean, they're scattered, and they're not just like little tents. They're like you say, party areas. I mean, it's crazy. I've
Oh
never
yeah,
seen nothing like it before in my life.
the tent for the Lonesome Dove Cookers, I don't know, holds 600 people.
Yeah.
My friend Doug Scheiding from Rogue Cookers, he cooks with the Wild Game crew down there every year. They have 1,000-person tent. And it's like, oh my God, we were walking through, and it's like, wow. It just blows your mind.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
Now you were set up on Champions Row, so you're really how do I want to? You guys are like the zoo.
I have no sound again.
Oh, nothing.
I have no sound again. Hold on.
Huh. You're on mute. In the chat, does everybody still hear me good in the chat? El Jefe. Thank you, Jeff. Appreciate it. All right. Ercole's on mute.
You there?
Yeah, I got you.
No, I don't hear nothing. Here she comes. 2 times.
I don't know.
It keeps on shutting off.
Going on up there that I'm working on. If it
You can hear
happens-
me? Okay.
If it you're not connected to my AirPods. I don't even know why that happened.
How'd you get that?
I went up there and I pressed that little thing,
Okay.
and then the second one.
Are we good?
AirPods Pro.
I got you.
I got you now.
All
Yeah,
right.
I got you now.
You know,
I
that
told you.
champion. Hey, we're in the same thing, man. This technology stuff is for the birds.
Yeah. His notes for the young generation. Yeah. 50,
Yeah, but-
56 tells me I could just flush a toilet really good. That's about it.
Yeah, I can't do it, but yet I try to play with it every week. Every week.
God bless you. God bless you.
You know, but you were set up at Champions Row, and you know it's you kind of you. It's like a zoo. You know,
Yeah.
you're on display is what you are.
Yes.
Because you're all fenced in this one area of obviously the Jack Daniels Grand Champion, the San Antonio, Austin, Royal, however else they run Champions Row. But you were set up on a nice, you could get away from the hustle and bustle,
Yeah.
and
It was
you
that.
could keep the hustle and bustle away from you too,
Mhm.
because you just can't walk in there and
No, they had us blocked off pretty good.
yeah. And it's the same area where they have the international teams. But how was your experience with cooking Houston for the very first time? Because
Good.
you got a call or two, right? If I'm not
And
mistaken.
brisket. Yeah,
Brisket.
we got to made a finalist in brisket.
So the overall
So I mean,
experience.
we were a little out of our comfort zone because me and Mark, when we go, we usually have our trailer everywhere. We didn't have our trailer, so we borrowed a friend's trailer. So it was a little out of sorts. Then Triple H was nice enough to let us use a drum. I mean, then you got to think about it. You got Chicken Fry to the right of me, got Jordan to the left of me with Janky Leg. I mean, these are all really good cooks, man. You really don't think that you're going to get a call. You think you want to. Your plan is to get one, but you're amongst especially a lot of teams in Texas that cook brisket. We don't really know their flavors and such. You hear a lot of salt and pepper, but we went there when we cooked our brisket that we use in KCBS, and lucky enough, we were able to hit. But it was a good experience. I mean, I being back there and hanging out with the guys there, it was cool. And you showing up, that was awesome. I mean, it was great.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, I'd like to do it again.
Oh, for sure, for sure. Now, walking that
Lost you again.
stage.
This time, I think I can fix it.
This is what happens on a live show. You get a little technical difficulties from time to time. Oh, here we go. I can hear you great. You just can't hear me.
Person. Right here.
Yeah. But I can hear you fine.
Nah, nothing yet. I can't hear nothing.
Hmm.
Oh, there you are. You back?
I'm back.
Okay, we're good.
All right, let's just not touch nothing.
I haven't touched anything. It's crazy as this goes away.
Yeah. It's wild.
Apple.
Shit,
Nice.
I've been fighting for 6 months over this friggin' microphone. It was like, come on, I just need it to work.
Yeah.
Um,
I haven't touched anything. I just go. Your sound goes away.
yeah. Now,
We're good now.
how was it to walk the stage at Houston?
Well, they put us when we after we when they came up with the finalist thing, where they started coming out, coming at 5:30. So we're all kind of watching and watching. So I see our two people. They're coming back, and they have two rolled up things in their hand. Rolled up banners in their hand, and I'm like, it looked like their one was really leaning towards chicken fried,
Mhm.
and the girl, she was leaning towards us. I'm like, so I moved over. She got a little closer, and I moved over a little more, and she got a little closer. I'm like, well, maybe she's coming with us. So I'll just sit right here and wait then. So they gave him the finalist for chicken, and then they unveiled us for brisket. So then everybody went nuts, and we were all happy, and they took us behind the stage. Then they put us in. They herd us like cattle. We're on these little cattle things where if you're chicken, you're here. Your ribs, you're here. Your pork, you're there. Brisket, you're there. And we're all standing in line like we're going to the slaughterhouse. And then they called us up there, and I mean, it was we were back here for a while, and it was very interesting. I mean, I would like to do it. I would like to try it again. It was fun. It was fun.
Yeah.
Then getting on
Yeah.
stage, I mean, you're like, there's so many people out there. You're like, holy shit, there's a lot of people out there. And we got a ninth place call, and when they tagged our meat and all this stuff was so different,
Yeah.
so different, and it was very, very. What's the word I'm looking for? Unusual for what I'm
Yeah.
usually do. We trim the meat, show the meat, and that's it. They had to tag it. They had to watch us trim it. They had to watch us do everything. Pin the chicken wing. I mean, it was just not. It was
Yeah.
uncomfortable. It was just a different experience.
Different
But
experience for
it was
sure.
a good one. Our ambassadors were great. They were.
Yeah.
Go ahead. You could do this. Go ahead. I'm watching. You're good. Go ahead. And I must have asked 3,000 questions. Like I never trimmed the brisket before. I'm like, I'm okay. Yeah, good. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. But like you said, you don't want to do anything.
I don't know. I've never been there before, and
Yeah,
I was
for the first
really
time
nervous.
doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, at that day I thought our ribs were probably, the best thing we cooked. The brisket was not so far behind. I mean, if I had to put them in order, it would be ribs, brisket, chicken. But the other two didn't fare too well. And if we go again, we know what to do different. I brought a couple friends of mine. I brought Sid from Goo 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 and John from Chunky Barbecue. I brought them with us, and we all kind of, put everything together to see what we could do. So if we would go again, we'd probably take the same crew, and hopefully we would do a little better on the other two meats.
Oh, there you go. And especially you're on a another world championship, and it's like you said, I don't know, the difference in the cooking procedures are way different than what we're used to. Got your site set up, and the guy comes over, opens your cooler, looks at you, make sure everything's sealed, and all right, here you go. Here's your boxes. We'll see you. We'll see you next week. But to get everything, the metal pinned, each
Yeah.
protein pinned, and
Yeah.
it's got to make sure that they're there when it comes off. And
So that was one of the problems with brisket. I guess being they were checking everybody's brisket, they were supposed to come. They were probably an hour and a half behind to get to us. So we're done, and we're sitting for a little while longer than we usually do. And when they got there, it was really good. I'm like, wow, maybe the sitting thing's even better. Maybe the longer it sits, the better it is. So we might have figured out something then by accident.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. But yeah, it's that one that the Houston is a different animal altogether. It's something like through the weekend, like 250,000 people coming
So many
through,
people.
and it's just wild. It's absolutely wild. But
We
yeah, to
see
get that
nonstop
call,
people. Yeah, we see
yeah,
nonstop people, and we were away from the crowd. They
yeah,
came towards us to see what we were doing, but in the middle of there, you couldn't walk by. I mean, there
no,
was wall to wall people.
yeah,
It
yeah,
was, I
for
mean,
it.
especially at nighttime when all the saloons opened up. It was crazy. It was
Oh
just
yeah,
crazy walking around.
it's nuts for sure. It's definitely an experience, and if obviously if you ever get a chance to cook it, by guys cook it. But if you
Absolutely.
ever get the opportunity just to go and be a bystander, checking out everything, do it because it is an experience like no other, and they do it up right.
I'd have to agree
And
with you on that. They do
you
it up.
know, some of the tents are open all day. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, literally, and most everything shuts down about 5 o'clock in the afternoon for strictly the private party. So you need to be wristbanded on each one, and they're sticklers with it. They take everything, they take it all very serious. But if you ever get a chance to go down to Houston to check it out, your mind's gonna get blown. But yeah, but to have the opportunity to go and cook it was that was fantastic. That was fantastic. So, Ercole, brother, when are you guys heading out? When's wheels up time?
Tomorrow we're heading out to 10 o'clock tomorrow night. We're going to head out tomorrow night at 10.
Very
So we
good, very
have
good.
some stuff to, like I said, I got to go do chicken when I'm done here. I got to do some other stuff, get packed up, ready to go, and we'll be ready to roll. And we'll hopefully we'll get there sometime in Wednesday morning. I mean,
Wednesday
so
morning, get
for the Jack, I mean, yeah, they overdo it for you, man. They got us, tickets for Mary Bobo's. They got us tickets for the Champions Dinner. They got us tickets for the concert. They got us tickets for the Hill. I mean, it's overwhelming what they're doing for us for winning.
yeah,
It's above and beyond.
yeah.
I didn't know all that was going on. Some wife got tickets for all these things, and they're like, "Well, you don't need all these tickets. What do you need these tickets? We're going to give you tickets." So they refunded us our money and stuff. I didn't know. We
Oh,
didn't know. I mean,
nice.
it really wasn't
Yeah,
in the hey, you won sheet. I mean, we didn't,
yeah,
we just got tickets for everybody who was coming.
yeah. This is what you got for winning this year, but this is what you get next year for winning this year. They didn't tell you that aspect of it.
Yeah,
Oh,
right.
so that's
No,
really cool.
I knew they would give us a tour.
Yeah,
Yeah, they give us a
but
private tour to the distillery. Yeah,
oh,
it's a
nice.
busy weekend or week. And that's why we hit. So it's Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Every day we got to do something.
Nice, nice. And
Somewhere
I've
along
been
there, I got to
asking all
practice wings. Again,
the yeah, and I've been asking everybody as long as they go, hey, you got your reservation for Miss Mary Bobo's? Oh yeah, we're in there at 11 o'clock. We're in there at 3. We're in at 1. So you're good to go. Obviously, you've been
yeah.
there, you know the deal. But so that'll be
Hmm.
good. But Ercole, brother, like I said, I appreciate it. I appreciate you making the time on the night before you're leaving, and so I won't keep you any longer. But I appreciate you. Thank you so much for making the time to come and talk to us about the Jack and your experience and being the defending champ rolling in there this weekend. And good luck and safe travels, brother.
Thank you. I appreciate you being on the show. It was great.
Where can
Appreciate
everybody
it a lot. It was fun.
catch you social media wise?
It's Facebook, and I do believe it's Instagram. I think it's
Okay.
Instagram. Yeah. Uncle
All
Pig's,
right.
Uncle Pig's Barbecue Pit. Yeah.
There you go, guys. Oh shit! Wow. No, that's not a way to end.
What happened?
Guys, this just in. Um, please keep Josh Skinner from Skinner Farms in your prayers. I guess he took a pretty bad fall and is in bad shape right now. So all the well wishes and prayers heading to Josh and his family for this. Uncle Steve is saying a brain injury. Oh no, that's not good. But let's all keep Josh and his family in the prayers. Hopefully everything works, turns out well. Jeez, man. But Ercole, brother, thank you so much. Good luck. Give them hell, and I hope to hear your name called last. This is terrible
I appreciate
because
that.
there's so many guys I want to hear last now. This whole setup of all the East Northeast representing down there has put me in quite a predicament. I guess I won't be too upset depending on who's called last, as long as they're from the Northeast. There we go. I think that's politically correct.
Hopefully we can represent.
Absolutely, brother. But thank you. Appreciate it. Give them hell. Safe travels. And unfortunately, now you got to go trim chicken.
I wish it was longer. All right.
All right, brother. Thank you, Ercole. Oh, guys.
All right. Have a good night.
You too, brother. Guys. Ercole from Uncle Pig's Barbecue Pit, 2023 Grand Champion. Well, that's it, guys. That was the road to the Jack. I know I missed a couple people. You know, I was shooting for the guys I hadn't had on before. But you never know. I might be able to catch a guy here or two at a truck on a little pit stop at a Buc-ee's or something that might hop on for a little quick. And you never know if we get them early, maybe even from the holler itself. But thank you all for tuning in. Like I said, I'm working on this Facebook thing. They won't allow StreamYards to go live on a group now. So I can't go straight. I can do YouTube, but I can't get into the live on the podcast page on Facebook. So I'm working on a couple things with that. So hopefully that'll be back. But the link will be shared in all the Facebook groups for the YouTube link to catch the video. And the audio will be up in about a half hour, 45 minutes. But thank you all for tuning in. This has been a blast. And next week, Columbus Day, we will be having a show. I'm working on let's see. I'm working on Jim Taylor from Smoking Wood Products. Hopefully he'll be able to join me and talk. He's actually the official wood sponsor for the American Royal this year. So we'll get that going, hopefully. But until next week, guys, keep the smoke rolling.